Welcome to Between Two Pastries, a not-so-typical nutrition podcast. Nicole and Annie are licensed and registered dietitians. Join them as they discuss hot nutrition topics, challenge popular beliefs, and have a blast doing it. Here are your hosts, Nicole and Annie.
Welcome to Between Two Pastries. This is Nicole.
Hey everyone, it's Annie. What are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about body acceptance, kind of body positivity. We're talking a little bit more specifically about like body shape and our differences and appearances in that respect, and more precisely cellulite.
Ooh, okay. Do you want to know one of my first memories of cellulite is I used to do jazzercise classes with my mom when I was like, I loved, I did dance like ballet, tap and stuff. And then I was playing soccer so much that on the days I wasn't at soccer, I would go with my mom to jazzercise because I loved to dance still, but I could only, I had to pick a sport, right? So I would go to jazzercise, and which in my opinion it's dancing. Like it's fun and
jumping around.
And I loved it. Yeah. And I remember a group of people, obviously adults. I was the only child there. Like we were standing before class. And I remember one lady saying, yeah, I finally don't hurt anymore. I just had liposuction done.
Oh my gosh.
Like all over her body. And then using the word, I remember hearing the word cellulite and talking about, I just hate, cottage cheese legs and cellulite and all. And I was just like, just obviously a 12-year-old observer, like unsure of what the hell I was even hearing. But that was my first memory of liposuction, and just probably not my first memory of people hating themselves or, poor body image and stuff like that. But really my first memory of like, wow, people really go to extremes trying to change themselves. And yeah, her weight was significantly less, but it was like, to me, as a 12-year-old, it was like, you're not a different person. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't understand, like, what are you changing? Like, what's wrong with you that you felt you had to do? It was just really bizarre. And then, I do remember asking like, what is liposuction, and it being described to me as like a vacuum taking out. And it was like, why would you want to do that? Like it was just a 12-year-old brain of not understanding
absolutely
why this was a thing. Mm-hmm. And again, that was in the 90s. So like, I think that was a thing.
What a memory.
It is a memory. It's a kind of a comical one at this point, now that I'm a dietitian.
Yeah, well, sure.
Just I never thought twice about it after that happened, but I think of it now because it's like, boy, people will go to so many extremes to put their bodies under like that level of pain just to present differently. To who though? I don't know.
Well, and
who are you changing for?
Right. The issue with that too is also that just because you have that done doesn't mean that's going to stay away.
Yeah.
So
you still have cellulite after that.
Correct, which is also
stretch marks. Perhaps skin marks.
Right.
Skin changes.
And all of those things are okay. And the thing is that it depends on what kind of lifestyle she would have decided to lead after that too. But, we all have, cellulite in general can be genetic, but it's also it's just a structure of kind of the combination of the skin, the fascia, and the fat basically. And so I'll have a lot of my clients who end up putting muscle on will all of a sudden, instead of being happy about putting muscle on and, being stronger and being essentially leaner, they're upset now because they say they see cellulite and it's like the worst thing in the world, right? So there's something has told us that it's not acceptable. That's kind of the other thing. And again, how can this not be acceptable when it's just a natural part of our bodies as a human being, not as a plastic Barbie doll, but as a human being? This is part of our structure. And so,
but even the Barbie dolls have cellulite and stretch marks. You know, I mean, maybe not the plastic ones, but people who are thin and quote unquote acceptable
I'm talking about the
in our
plastic
world.
ones, but yeah, I'm talking about the plastic ones.
You know, the real people in the world who are, you know, quote unquote acceptable because they're thin, they have stretch marks and they have cellulite as well.
Oh, for sure. Of course, because it's
100%.
part of our
Athletes
human
do.
structure. Well,
Models
that's my
do.
point.
Everyone
right.
does.
And so the thing that we also have to remember too is that when we add muscle, that muscle is tight and it pushes, it's going to be pushing everything else. And because a woman's skin is thinner, literally, and as we age, it actually gets even thinner, you know, more opaque is what I mean. We're able to just visibly see the structure more than anything else. But it doesn't mean that you've added any body fat whatsoever. Doesn't mean that at all. It's just a normal thing that is perfectly fine. I want people to be able to embrace, like, they're either changing lifestyles and like feeling better about things. And this was also a client who is having just a plethora of positive things that are happening within her body. She's feeling so much better. She's sleeping like a dream. She's, you know, all of these other things. Her mood has stabilized so much. Like, all of this other great stuff has been happening with her. And I want her to be able to appreciate her body.
Yeah.
You know, like,
have you started mirror work?
Not with her yet, but I shouldn't say that completely, kind of through email at this point, just because of the nature of things at this point. But it's like, I want her to be able to just thank her body for everything that it has done for her to help regulate her and keep her alive thus far.
Right. Well, and so much of that, though, is accepting, right? You have to accept how your body looks and the structure, whether it's wrinkles or pimples or age marks of some nature, birthmarks, cellulite, stretch marks. These are all things that are part of being a human, male or female. And again, somewhere along the lines, we were told that it's not okay. And that's so Western culture.
Yeah. But it's so strange to me.
It's
so bizarre to me that we've developed such this disconnection, but there's just such this hyper desire to not be who we are at any given time.
100%.
No matter where you're at any time, you're always not enough. I don't know where this all came from. It's just so wild to me.
It has 100% shaped the culture,
Yeah.
or the culture has shaped us ultimately to be insecure, non-confident, and, you know, poor body images, poor acceptance. And what are the driving factors of people walking into a store and buying makeup, creams, lotions, diet pills, certain bars or whatever, potions, whatever, is low self-esteem, lack of confidence, poor body image.
Sure.
There's an entire beauty, makeup, you know, I guess that's beauty industry, diet industry, multi-billion-dollar industry that is feeding upon your insecurities.
And the sad part is that people are seeking these things to make them feel a particular way when they can already feel that way if they just let them.
Yeah, for free.
Like, you literally can switch your mentality of how you choose to view your world at any given time.
You know what really gets my goat more than anything is there's, you know, obviously you and I, and there's an entire movement that is advocating for body positivity and acceptance of cellulite and acceptance of birthmarks and weight and all of this, right? that weight is truly, as evidence is showing, new evidence is showing, weight is not an indicator of so many diseases like the diet industry created way
Correct.
back in at the turn of the century. Not like the Industrial Revolution is when this all started.
Right.
And then again, the 60s and 70s and 80s, when diet culture really boomed and started to say even more so that there's stuff wrong with us, when indeed there's not. Weight is not an indicator.
Right.
You can rewind that and listen to that again, because I think that that's so important for people to understand. And where I'm going with this is, when you see body positivity language or posts or stories or pictures, whatever, it blows my mind the negative comments about whatever body positivity post or picture person that is in that social media post. You're fat, that's not healthy, thin is better, you need to die, whatever, like just negative posts. And to me, I just want to be, why is it so bad that me, a whole movement was created to embrace your body, to live in the present, to feel, to accept, and to be happy. What the hell is wrong with that?
I know. I agree.
I don't understand it.
It's so weird.
I'm just going to bring this up quick, because I know she won't mind, but we interviewed Brittany, the body positive mom. And okay, so it's already out. Be sure to listen to it and follow her. But Brittany had gotten that same thing, because she's big on, mom body positivity and everything. And she had someone trolling her social media, just basically saying, like, you don't know what you're talking about. Diets work. You need to Google it, what a diet is, and follow it.
What a waste of energy.
It is such a waste of energy, but here we are with millions of people being that negative.
Right. It's really sad, but I mean, what does that say for how they're actually experiencing their world? I mean, it makes me, again, feel very sad that person is having such a difficult time finding joy within themselves and within their world. It really is sad.
Well, and how much that impacts other people to then go follow a diet or to hate themselves more. And that's the cycle that I hate.
The whole driving force. So Annie and I did a whole series that you can purchase online if you wish to, on self-care, body positivity, body image, intuitive eating,
with materials too,
and supporting materials to go along with that. So check that out if you want to kind of dive further into this. But so
thanks all.
That's what we got. Yeah. Later, Gators.
Have questions you want to hear discussed on the show? Find us on Facebook or visit betweentwopastries.com and drop us a line. Want to support the show? Find us on Patreon for exclusive content. If you love the show, find us on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review.